Let's get one thing straight. This is not your average fan poll, and definitely not a boring AI experiment you'd scroll past on TikTok. Nope. What you're about to see will either make you gasp, laugh, or start questioning your entire idea of what handsome even means. Because today, the machines have spoken. That's right, an artificial intelligence system, the kind that analyzes everything from facial symmetry to perceived attractiveness ratios, has just ranked the 7 members of BTS according to modern beauty standards. Yeah, you heard that right. AI, judging BTS. Bold move, robot. But before you start sharpening your pitchforks or drafting emotional comments, let's take a deep breath. Because what's fascinating here isn't just who came out on top, but how these results revealed the weird, complicated, and kinda hilarious ways humans and algorithms see beauty differently. Think of it as science meets K-pop meets chaos. Now, BTS isn't just a band. They're a cultural phenomenon. Each member has his own aura, fan base, and, let's be honest, unique power to crash the internet with a single selfie. They've graced magazine covers, topped global charts, and redefined what it means to be a superstar in the digital era. But what happens when a computer, emotionless, data-driven, and brutally objective, takes on the impossible task of ranking their beauty? Will it agree with millions of armies around the world? Or will it throw us the wildest plot twist since Jungkook's mullet phase? Either way, this list isn't about judgment. It's about curiosity. It's a mix of fun, fact, and a little bit of chaos theory sprinkled with AI absurdity. So get ready for a ride that's part documentary, part gossip hour, and 100% entertaining. Because as it turns out, beauty, even in the world of BTS, might just depend on who or what is looking. So buckle up, charge your bias shields, and prepare some friendly emotional damage, because these results are about to surprise everyone. Number 7. J-Hope, the radiant surprise. Okay, let's start with the one that made fans collectively say, wait, what? According to the AI's pixel-perfect judgment, J-Hope lands at number 7. 7! Now, before you start yelling at your screen, let's unpack this because the reasoning is actually fascinating. The AI system used something called facial symmetry scoring and ratio alignment, which basically measures how balanced your face is according to what it considers the golden beauty ratio. In other words, it's not about charm, confidence, or aura, it's pure geometry. And J-Hope? He's a masterpiece of expression, not geometry. The guy's smile can light up a stadium. His stage presence can flip the entire energy of a concert. And his charisma? Off the charts. But symmetry? AI says nah. According to the data, his features, slightly wider nose bridge, softer jawline, and that bright asymmetrical smile, scored lower in the algorithm's beauty metrics. Which is wild, because human eyes see something completely different. People see warmth. That's what the AI missed. J-Hope's beauty isn't about precision, it's about emotion. You look at him and instantly feel happier. It's that unfiltered positivity, that contagious confidence. He's got what we call aura-based attractiveness, the kind of face that radiates good vibes even when he's not trying. But here's where it gets interesting. In the dataset of AI-defined male beauty, the system was trained on thousands of celebrity faces, most of them Western or East Asian models with extremely sharp features. So naturally, the algorithm favored narrow chins, higher cheekbones, and symmetry so perfect it could be drawn with a ruler. J-Hope's softer, expressive features simply didn't fit the data pattern. Yet that's what makes him stand out. Because in real life, and especially in the world of entertainment, personality can completely rewrite the rules of attraction. When you see J-Hope perform, he doesn't need symmetry. He creates it through motion. Every dance move snaps into perfect balance. Every smile hits you like a beam of sunlight. He's the kind of person AI can't measure because he transcends data. Even his nickname, Sunshine, isn't just a fan invention, it's his entire energy field. You watch him, and you feel brighter. And honestly, that's the kind of beauty you can't quantify. So, sure, AI might have put him in last place, but humans know better. Because when it comes to real-world charisma, J-Hope doesn't just shine, he glows. And you can't code that. Number 6. Jin, the worldwide handsome paradox. Now this one's where things start getting spicy. Because if there's one name that's practically synonymous with beauty in BTS, it's Kim Seok-jin. The man literally introduced himself to the world as worldwide handsome. And guess what? He wasn't joking. From red carpets to live stages, from Seoul to LA, people can't stop talking about his visuals. Even random passerbys at airports have gone viral for simply noticing how unreal he looks in person. So when the AI ranked Jin all the way down at number 6, fans everywhere collectively screamed, "Are you serious right now, robot?" But once again, the machine had its reasons. Weird, cold, mathematical reasons. Let's break it down. The AI model used something called a facial golden ratio algorithm, the same system often used in digital beauty tests. Basically, it measures distances between facial points, nose to lips, eye widths, jaw angle, and so on. It's like geometry class, but with more heartbreak. According to that system, Jin's face is too balanced. Yeah, you heard that right, too perfect. His symmetry scored near flawless. His proportions were textbook. But the AI didn't give him full points because it categorized his beauty as common ideal. Translation, he's so universally good-looking that he doesn't stand out as unique in the algorithm's world. The AI literally said, "You're too perfect, therefore, mid." Unbelievable. But here's where it gets wild. Jin's looks are the kind of beauty that hits you like a movie scene in slow motion. You know when the camera pans to a character and everything suddenly stops, like time itself has to take a moment? That's Jin. His features are sharp yet soft, confident yet unassuming. His face carries that timeless quality, like he could fit in any era, from a Joseon prince to a futuristic K-pop icon. It's no wonder he was once selected as one of the most symmetrical faces in the world by a team of international visual artists. Yet, in the eyes of an AI trained mostly on fashion and commercial datasets, classic beauty sometimes reads as average. The machine doesn't get charisma. It doesn't get presence. And Jin? He's got that in spades. There's a reason why his nickname stuck. When Jin walks into a room, he doesn't just look handsome, he owns it. He doesn't rely on trends or filters, his charm is disarmingly natural. Remember that time he confidently declared himself worldwide handsome during a press conference, and everyone laughed but also secretly agreed? That's peak Jin energy. It's confidence that's both genuine and hilarious. He's in on the joke, and that's what makes it work. He knows he's good-looking, but he uses it with humor, not arrogance. Fans love that about him. He's effortlessly self-aware. Plus, there's something about Jin's face that cameras adore. Under stage lights, his skin literally reflects glow like he's wearing high-end studio lighting 24/7. And let's talk about that jawline. The AI may have called it too symmetrical, but humans, we call it legendary. It's the kind of jawline sculptors dream about. Combine that with those gentle, expressive eyes, and you've got a face that could launch 1,000 fan cams. But Jin's real secret weapon isn't geometry, it's relatability. Behind all that elegance, he's still that guy who cracks dad jokes, eats with pure joy, and sings with raw emotion. There's something grounding about his beauty. He's the perfect mix of prince and goofball, like if a Disney hero decided to take a day off and become your best friend. And that, right there, is where the AI fails again, because no amount of data can quantify charm, humor, or the way Jin's smile can make you feel seen. The algorithm doesn't understand warmth. It only measures pixels. But humans, we feel it. That's why no matter what the AI says, Jin's spot on this list feels less like a ranking and more like proof that machines still don't understand human beauty. Because sometimes beauty isn't just symmetry, it's soul. And Jin has plenty of that. Number 5. RM, the intellectual charisma factor. Now here's where the AI's circuits really started to smoke. Because when it came to RM, BTS's brain, leader, and walking embodiment of cool professor energy, the results got weirdly philosophical. On paper, the AI called him average attractive. Yeah, average. The same guy who can turn a UN speech into poetry, quote philosophy between rap verses, and melt crowds just by existing in a well-tailored blazer? According to the machine, his facial proportions scored in the middle range, balanced, structured, but not extreme enough to break the beauty scale. In short, the AI said, "You're good looking, but not algorithmically shocking." But let's be honest, RM's beauty has never been about fitting into boxes or data patterns. His entire charm comes from breaking them. Because when you see Namjoon, it's not about a perfect jawline or computer-calculated symmetry. It's about presence. He walks into a room and suddenly the atmosphere changes. That quiet, grounded confidence, that's charisma, in its purest, most intellectual form. It's that I know who I am and I don't need to prove it kind of energy that AI can't even begin to comprehend. But let's break down how this ranking happened. The AI model in question analyzed over 10,000 facial datasets, primarily from global male celebrities and fashion models. It used landmarks, literally digital dots on the face, to calculate harmony between the eyes, nose, lips, and chin. And RM's face, it broke pattern expectations. His nose bridge is slightly wider than the dataset average, his mouth has a subtle asymmetry when he smiles, and his jawline transitions smoothly rather than sharply, which, according to the algorithm, softens masculine definition. In human words, the AI prefers robotic perfection. RM, on the other hand, has a face full of character. His expressions shift like stories. His eyes can be soft one second, fierce the next. It's the kind of face that doesn't just look good, it feels good to watch because it's real. He's the definition of a thinking man's bias. There's a reason fans call him Namjoon brain rot. Because the second he starts talking about art museums, existentialism, or the meaning of happiness, you forget about the algorithm and start reevaluating your entire life. And that's beauty on another wavelength entirely. But let's rewind a bit. Before he became the polished leader of BTS, RM was that underground rapper with glasses, messy hair, and raw talent. Back then, even he admitted he didn't fit the traditional idol look. He was too tall, too tanned, too unconventional. But as BTS evolved, so did Namjoon, not because he changed his face, but because he grew into it. Confidence refined his features. Leadership carved his posture. Experience gave him that depth in his eyes that no AI could replicate. Every photo of him tells a story, from the early chaotic Bangtan bombs to the serene museum selfies that look like Renaissance paintings. RM's beauty is the kind that sneaks up on you. The more you know about him, the more attractive he becomes. It's like his face and his mind are in sync, intelligent, composed, layered. That's why so many people, even outside the fandom, find him magnetic. It's intellectual appeal turned visual. And honestly, if AI could feel emotions, it would probably glitch trying to process that level of multidimensional charm. Because let's face it, RM doesn't need to look handsome. He is handsome through the way he exists. When he smiles, you see kindness. When he talks, you hear conviction. When he leads BTS on stage, there's this quiet authority that makes everyone else look just a little bit cooler by standing next to him. That's leadership beauty, the kind that can't be filtered, only felt. So when the AI ranked RM at number 5, fans took it with a mix of disbelief and pride. Sure, it's low for someone who literally redefined the image of a K-pop leader, but it also proves something powerful. Machines can measure features, but not impact. They can analyze symmetry, but not soul. RM is living proof that intelligence, authenticity, and calm confidence can outshine even the most mathematically perfect face. Because sometimes true beauty isn't about how your features line up, it's about how your mind lights them up. And in that category, RM doesn't just rank high, he's in a league of his own. Number 4. Suga, the cold aesthetic mystery. All right, brace yourself, because this one's got layers, attitude, and just the right amount of chaos. The AI's results placed Suga, aka Min at number 4, which, honestly, shocked a lot of people. Why? Because depending on who you ask, Suga is either the most effortlessly good-looking guy in BTS, or the kind of beauty you only understand after a few minutes of staring at him like, wait, why does this man look so good being completely unbothered? And that, right there, is the essence of Suga's beauty. It's quiet, minimalistic, yet dangerously addictive. But how did the AI reach this ranking? According to the system's analysis, Suga's facial structure scored surprisingly high on something called the Aesthetic Harmony Index, which basically means his features blend together so naturally that the computer deemed him artistically consistent. In simpler terms, Suga's face has the kind of symmetry that looks cinematic. His eyes, slightly droopy yet piercing, balance perfectly with a small, defined nose and lips that rest in a naturally stoic expression. To the AI, he's not the classic model face. He's the mystery type, which, let's be honest, couldn't be more accurate. There's a reason people call him the cat of BTS. There's something feline about him, sleek, elegant, slightly aloof. But when he locks eyes with you, game over. The machine even noted that his neutral face registers high emotional impact, meaning that even when he's just existing, there's depth. And that's the magic of Yoongi. He doesn't perform beauty, he just is beauty, accidentally. But here's where it gets funny. The AI categorized Suga's beauty as cold charm, a term used for faces that appear distant or refined rather than traditionally expressive. You know, the kind of look that says, I don't chase, I attract. Fans instantly agreed, because that's the whole Suga aesthetic. Calm, composed, borderline intimidating, yet completely irresistible. He doesn't need to smile for you to pay attention. In fact, the less he does, the more you want to know what he's thinking. And that mystery, that's his superpower. Now, the algorithm might have analyzed angles and proportions, but what it can't detect is vibe. And Suga's vibe is elite. Think about it. This is the same guy who can sit in a corner with headphones, barely say a word, and still be the most magnetic person in the room. He's like that one art student who doesn't speak much, but somehow wins every competition. His beauty isn't loud. It's stealthy. It creeps up on you until one day you realize he's your bias, and you don't even know how it happened. But beyond the aesthetics, let's talk about presence. Suga's stage persona, August D, is a complete transformation. When he raps, his sharp jawline tightens, his gaze hardens, and suddenly he's not just handsome, he's dangerous. That duality is something AI could never understand. To a computer, it's just facial muscle activity. To humans, it's power. Controlled chaos wrapped in charisma. Offstage, though, he's the definition of soft elegance. His skin tone, smooth and porcelain-like, often gets praised by stylists. His features are subtle, but perfectly balanced. No exaggerated lines, no harsh edges. He's the embodiment of minimalist beauty, the kind that Korean aesthetics often describe as pure chic. He could walk into a black and white photo shoot, do absolutely nothing, and the camera would still adore him. But what really separates Suga from typical AI-defined beauty is emotion. Behind those calm eyes is a depth most people only dream of having. You see it in interviews, the way he pauses before answering, how his gaze drifts as if he's measuring the weight of each word. That emotional intelligence gives his face a constant sense of story. Every expression feels intentional. And that, ironically, is why humans find him more beautiful than machines ever could. The AI might rank him based on pixels, But fans see poetry, because Suga's beauty isn't about perfection, it's about authenticity. It's the kind that grows with you. At first, you think, he looks cool. Then you start watching his behind-the-scenes clips, hear that deep Daegu accent, see how thoughtful he is, and suddenly you're like, oh no, I'm in too deep. That's the Suga effect. So, number 4 might not be a bad place. It's almost poetic. It's right in the middle of logic and emotion, where AI's data-driven perspective meets human fascination. Because if beauty had a spectrum, Suga would be the quiet center, calm, mysterious, and impossible to forget. Cold charm? Maybe to a machine. But to everyone else, he's the definition of understated fire, the kind that burns slow, steady, and forever. Number 3. Jimin, the angelic illusion. Now this is where the list starts getting dangerously beautiful, because if there's one BTS member who can make an AI question its own existence, it's Jimin. The man is basically a living art filter. Everything about him, from his eyes that look permanently kissed by soft light to his smile that feels like it was handcrafted by the universe, screams main character energy. So when the AI placed him at number 3, fans had 2 reactions: confusion and chaos. Because how do you look like a real-life anime prince and still not break the algorithm's beauty scale? Turns out, the explanation is as fascinating as Jimin himself. The AI system described his beauty as ethereal, borderline unreal, which sounds like a compliment, but in machine terms, that actually knocked him down a few points. The AI measured his facial proportions and found what it called non-standard harmony, meaning his features are slightly exaggerated in ways that make him distinct from the average dataset. Translation: his beauty is too unique to fit the formula. His eyes are slightly larger than average ratios, his lips fuller, and his nose delicately upturned, features that the AI flagged as asymmetric yet emotionally appealing. In other words, Jimin breaks the rules of beauty by being too humanly perfect. And honestly, that's so on brand for him. Because Jimin's entire aura is built on contradiction. He's both soft and powerful, gentle and deadly, graceful and chaotic. Watching him perform feels like watching silk turn into fire. His movements are precise yet fluid, his expressions constantly shifting between vulnerability and confidence. It's no wonder fans call him an angel, not because he looks unreal, but because he carries a kind of light that feels divine. But let's zoom out for a second. To the AI, beauty is math, angles, proportions, ratios. To Jimin, beauty is movement. He doesn't just look beautiful, he becomes beauty through the way he moves. When he dances, every motion feels intentional, like he's sculpting the air. His facial expressions are part of the choreography, eyes that tell a story, lips that hover between a smile and heartbreak. The AI could never calculate that. It can detect symmetry, but not emotion. And Jimin? He's pure emotion in HD. Fun fact, during the AI's expression variance analysis, basically a test of how dynamic a face can look, Jimin scored one of the highest among all BTS members. The data showed that his face can shift between 15 micro-expressions in the span of seconds. That's insane. It's what makes him magnetic on stage and disarming offstage. One moment he's the fierce, dominant performer, the next he's giggling like a kid who just got caught stealing extra dessert. That duality drives fans and evidently algorithms absolutely insane. What's even funnier is how Jimin himself reacts to all this attention. He's known for being modest, almost shy when people compliment his looks. He laughs it off, covers his face, or gives that adorable, embarrassed grin, which, ironically, makes him even more attractive. He's aware of his charm, but doesn't weaponize it. He just is. And that natural humility, mixed with otherworldly beauty, that's a rare combo AI simply can't categorize. But let's not forget the technical side. The AI noted Jimin's skin texture and bone symmetry as refined smoothness, a characteristic that's often associated with youth and health. His facial structure, high cheekbones, heart-shaped face, and soft jawline fits the universal beauty trend known as the aesthetic blend, meaning his features appeal to both Western and Eastern beauty preferences. Essentially, he's got international face appeal. He could star in a Hollywood film or a K-drama and you wouldn't even question it. Yet despite all the perfection, there's something deeply human about his looks. Maybe it's the way his eyes soften when he smiles, or how his voice carries warmth even when he's teasing the other members. He radiates care. You can literally feel it, and that's the kind of beauty data can't detect. The soul factor. Because here's the truth. Jimin's beauty isn't static. It's alive. It evolves every time he performs, every time he laughs, every time he looks at someone with that gentle gaze that says, "I see you." The AI ranked him third for being too unconventional, but humans know better. He's the kind of beautiful that makes you forget there's even a system to measure it. So yeah, maybe he's not perfect by robotic standards, but in the real world, the world with emotions, light, and music, Jimin is living proof that perfection is boring, and beauty is something that moves, breathes, and feels. And he's mastered all three.
Number 2. Jungkook, the golden visual standard. Now this one almost broke the internet and the AI server at the same time, because when it comes to Jungkook, BTS's golden maknae, global heartthrob, and walking Pinterest board, even machines struggle to stay objective. He's that rare mix of boy next door and Greek god carved by destiny. The kind of face that can look angelic in one photo and absolutely feral in the next. So when the AI ranked Jungkook at number 2, fans were shocked. Because if he's number 2, then who on earth could possibly be number 1? But before we get to that chaos, let's talk about how the AI got here and why Jungkook nearly broke its system. According to the analysis, Jungkook scored insanely high across multiple categories: facial symmetry, ratio balance, skin tone evenness, and photogenic adaptability. Yeah, that's a real metric. It basically measures how consistently good someone looks from every angle. Spoiler alert, Jungkook scored a near-perfect 98%. The AI literally said, subject displays no bad angles. None. Zero. That means even his airport candids look like luxury magazine covers. But the real kicker? The AI described his beauty as golden standard global appeal. Translation, he's the prototype of what modern human attractiveness looks like. Cross-cultural, balanced, and naturally captivating. His facial ratios match something close to the phi mask, that famous golden ratio model used in plastic surgery to define ideal beauty. His jawline? Sharp, but not aggressive. His eyes? Large, expressive, perfectly spaced. His lips? Full, balanced, and naturally tinted like he walked out of a makeup ad. In short, if AI had a crush, it'd be on Jungkook. But here's where things got really interesting. The algorithm noted a slight variance in his beauty score, not because of imperfection, but because his facial features shift subtly depending on expression and hairstyle. In other words, Jungkook is what AI called emotionally adaptive beautiful. He doesn't just look good, he transforms. Put him in soft lighting with long hair, romantic hero. Tie his hair back and add tattoos, action movie protagonist. Cut it short and hand him a microphone, global pop legend. That kind of versatility is what separates a pretty face from a phenomenon. And Jungkook is absolutely a phenomenon. But numbers aside, let's talk about the vibe. Jungkook's beauty isn't cold or distant like the AI often prefers. It's warm, approachable, real. There's a comfort in his visuals, a mix of youthful energy and quiet maturity that draws you in without trying too hard. You look at him and think, yeah, that's someone I could hang out with. And then 5 seconds later, you're spiraling because he's staring into the camera like he just read your entire soul. That duality, soft yet powerful, is what makes him so captivating. It's why people who don't even listen to BTS still know his face.
He's become the global standard of effortless attractiveness. He's got the kind of face that makeup artists study, photographers obsess over, and algorithms reluctantly bow to. Now, AI aside, Jungkook's beauty has always evolved with his artistry. Remember debut-era Jungkook? Baby-faced, shy, all white eyes and bunny smile. Fast forward a decade, and now we've got the tattooed, pierced Calvin Klein ambassador version, who somehow manages to be even more dangerous while still looking like he's never known a bad hair day. It's growth personified, not just in looks, but in confidence. And that confidence is key. Because Jungkook doesn't rely on perfection, he embodies it through presence. Watch him perform, the way his expressions change mid-song, how his body moves with precision, yet freedom. And you realize his beauty isn't something he wears, it's something he is. Even the AI's emotion detection model caught something rare in him, high empathic resonance. That means his face naturally projects emotion in a way that feels authentic to viewers. Basically, he's so expressive that even a machine could sense his sincerity. That's wild. And maybe that's the reason he didn't take the top spot, because Jungkook's beauty isn't mechanical. It's not flawless because of structure alone. It's flawless because it feels alive. It's that spark in his eyes, that mischievous half smile, that quiet determination that radiates through every performance. The AI can measure pixels, but it can't measure presence. And Jungkook has that in cosmic quantities. So yeah, maybe he's number 2 on paper, but to millions of fans, and honestly to most humans with functioning eyesight, Jungkook is the blueprint. He's the golden standard, the living embodiment of AI, you tried, but humans win.
Number 1. V, the AI's ultimate definition of beauty. And here it is, the moment you've been waiting for, the twist that no one saw coming. V lands at number 1 in this AI beauty ranking. Kim Taehyung, the man who redefined what it means to be a K-pop visual and essentially broke the internet every time he so much as blinked. You might have seen the memes, the fan art, the viral compilations of his face. He's basically everywhere in the beauty world. So when the AI placed him at the top of the list, there was zero debate. The machine didn't just like his looks, it worshipped them. To say the AI gave Taehyung a near-perfect score would be an understatement. Every pixel of his face fits into the ideal beauty model the system was trained on. His facial proportions, nearly flawless. Jawline, perfectly sculpted. Eyes, deep, almond-shaped and impossibly expressive. But the AI didn't stop there. It even analyzed his unique combination of symmetry and irregularity, which is a rare feature for the golden ratio face. V's beauty is the perfect balance of otherworldly and untouchable. There's a reason his nickname is Worldwide Handsome 2.0, because the man doesn't just look like he stepped out of a dream, he feels like one. The machine pointed out that Taehyung's facial features are so strikingly symmetrical that he nearly meets the ideal perfect face metrics used in facial reconstruction surgery. His eyes are wide, his lips are full and slightly upturned, and his nose is delicate but strong enough to make his profile appear carved by an artist. But it's not just about those features. The AI went deep into something called the emotional resonance of his face, meaning how much emotional depth he can convey through expression. And here's where it gets really interesting. Taehyung scored the highest of all the members in this category. The AI recorded that his expressions had the greatest emotional variability, from playful grins to soulful gazes that could stop time. In other words, he's not just attractive, he's an emotional experience. The way his eyes light up when he smiles, the way his lips quirk up in that mysterious half smile, or the way he can look deep into the camera and suddenly everyone watching feels like they've just been personally serenaded by him, it's powerful stuff. To the AI, his beauty isn't just defined by ratios, it's defined by how much he moves you. And that's what's truly unique about V's place at the top. He's the kind of beauty that transcends boundaries. It's not confined to traditional or cultural standards of attractiveness. In fact, his look is so universally appealing that it feels like he was custom designed to captivate across all global audiences.
His striking, almost otherworldly beauty has made him the most recognizable member of BTS worldwide. But it's not just his face that makes him the ultimate beauty standard, it's how his personality enhances it. Fans often describe Taehyung as a soulful enigma. He's got that "I'm too cool for school" vibe, but also a warmth that makes you feel like you're sitting next to a long-lost friend. He's emotional, he's playful, he's mysterious, and that contradiction adds to the allure. Take a look at any fan cam of Taehyung on stage and you'll see it immediately. His beauty isn't static, it evolves with every note he sings, every movement he makes. There's a kind of intensity to a stage presence, and yet it's never forced. It's effortless, like a master artist casually sketching the most breathtaking masterpiece, one fluid motion at a time. But what about his voice? Because let's be real, his deep, velvety vocals are basically an extension of his visual charm. It's as if his voice and face were designed in perfect harmony. His vocal tone is so rich and unique that it adds layers to his entire visual identity. It's not just about looks with V, it's about the entire experience, and AI caught that too. One of the systems used to measure charismatic presence, essentially how much an individual can hold your attention, scored Taehyung the highest. It's because whether he's on stage or just existing in a room, Taehyung's presence doesn't just occupy space, it demands it. He doesn't just blend in, he stands out. Now, to fans, this ranking might feel less like a surprise and more like confirmation. We all know V has something magical about him, that intangible quality that makes you want to drop everything and watch him, just look at him. But what's truly wild is that the AI, with all its data, algorithms, and cold precision, couldn't ignore it. Taehyung embodies what the algorithm itself defines as perfection in human beauty. Every line, every expression, every glint in his eye is so meticulously crafted, so visually engaging, that he's not just a beautiful face. He's the perfect human face according to the machine. In conclusion, V's #1 spot isn't just about a pretty face or a striking visual. It's about a combination of beauty, soul, and presence that's impossible to measure or replicate. Because no matter how good the algorithm gets, no machine will ever capture the essence of Taehyung's charm. It's just too human. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why he's not just the #1 pick for AI beauty standards, he's the living, breathing standard for what it means to be universally captivating.